Okay, hi everyone. I have a new hobby video for you guys today, just showing my painting progress. The main thing, I've shown these spearmen on the channel already, but I have done the shields, and I did that today. And I have the basing done on them. Just noticed a spot, missed a spot on one of these guys, the jewels on their on his shields. I'm going to do that right now. I think they look okay. You know, I'm kind of an average painter, but I have to remind myself of my own philosophy when it comes to painting, especially historical miniatures, is to paint armies, not miniatures. What I mean by that is to focus on getting the whole army painted and getting you know, just making sure that you have a fully painted army on, you know, to play with, because it just makes the experience so much better than painting, you know, with a bunch of gray figures, and you know, it doesn't really look that appealing. So there we go. Okay, so I have these spearmen are almost done. I just have to finish the unit commander. Here's this guy. And he's got a lot of details, and it's late the time I'm filming, so I think I'm gonna finish him tomorrow. And because he's got just a lot of detail, and I don't really have time for that. And the basing I was able to finish because one of the local craft stores had a small display of like model railroad stuff, so they had a little bag of gravel, and I already had the grass before, so that was nice. And I just mixed it up. And I think for these guys, since they're fantasy, I'm going to keep the light gravel mixed with the grass. I think that looks okay for fantasy. And I also did some basing on these Ottoman musketeers that I had already finished, but they just needed some basing mixture, and I didn't want to do pure grass, so I mixed it up and just slapped a coat of brown paint down. And they look a little better now. So I'm trying to redouble my efforts to paint because I had some good news professionally recently, so that's given me more motivation, and I will and I'm really excited to paint again, actually. Excited about a lot of things in general. So and I want to try and finish everything I have here if I can. The one thing is that I am not really motivated to paint right now is my Gauls, just because there's just something about them. I don't really care to paint them. Romans, I've also found that I just can't really get into painting them. Maybe it's just because I kind of bought them because I just wanted something to paint, and you know, they were affordable, but I just find, right now at least, I find painting them kind of tedious, to be totally honest. But the good thing is with the Romans, I only have to do the command figures, and I could probably get that done in like an afternoon, you know, if I just sat down and did it, and then they'd be all finished. And then the Gauls, I think I'm going to assemble them all, and I think I might just wait to paint them, because I'd much rather work on these 15mm Ottomans that I have. I had put off working on the Ottomans because I was worried about like transporting them back to the US, and like the spears breaking or, you know, having a problem, but I think I'm just going to do it anyway because these guys have really long spears. I'm sure one of them or a lot of them are going to break, or something will happen. And the wire spears on the 15mm guys, I think, you know, if it happens, I'll just fix it and you know, buy more spears. I'm not really worried about the miniatures themselves. I mean, they're just sturdy metal figures. So I think I'll just go ahead and do that, and it won't be a big deal. And the other thing, because I want to be able to finish, you know, the Ottomans first, because I have a ton of them. Well, you know, skirmish set from, and then I have all these Polish army that I bought while I was visiting Poland, actually. So that was a nice trip, and I will get to work on them. I think I'll start with the Lithuanian Cavalry unit, but we'll see. The other idea, dangerous, because this is the danger of being a war gamer, I guess. I was watching Barry Lyndon again, one of my favorite movies, and which is set, if you've never seen it, a lot of the movie is set during the 7 Years' War in the 18th century in general. And I really love Baroque architecture and art and music. I think it's really great. And of course, you know, the 7 Years' War is a interesting event. So I was looking at miniatures even while I was watching the movie of either 15 or 28mm Austrians, most probably, because I've done a lot of Austrian armies. But I think that's going to be down the road, because I really don't like having a lot of stuff left just sitting around and then buying and well, honestly, if I have any other, you know, Catholic viewers or subscribers, it is Lent, and it's time to, you know, reflect on those things and think about you know, our habits in general. So I don't think it's a good idea for me to start buying a bunch of new miniatures. So that's, anyway. But yeah, I think if I can get these Ottomans finished, and I think they'll look really good, and I think a lot of my problems with painting cavalry are gonna not be as big a deal, because these will be 15mm cavalry, not 28mm. Yeah, and then for the High Elves, the Sigmar High Elves, I have to paint some bowmen and the Great Swords guys. And honestly, I'm you know, these figures paint a lot quicker than I thought they would, because they look like they have a lot of detail, but I noticed when I painted the gold first, and then filled the white in as the second step, I noticed that made the process go a lot quicker. So, and I learned that actually. A guy I used to play with at one of my old gaming stores, he had a Black Legion Chaos Army, and I think he mentioned to me that trick a lot of the guys do is prime the figures in gold and then you know, paint the black over top, because it's if you don't know, it's a black armor with gold trim, and on those Games Workshop Chaos Space Marine soldiers, there's figures, there's a lot of trim. So anyway, kind of a detour, but yeah, so I think these guys are coming along nicely. I will I've got the tripod again, so just do one last look, and show the much smaller Ottoman Musketeers, which I've shown before, but they look a little better with the basing. And yeah, so that's what I'm up to. And I think just as one last thing, I'm thinking about putting together a video about Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth soldiers in the 16th and 17th centuries. So I found some visual sources, some period visual sources. I also have some pictures I took while I was in Poland of some historical paintings from the 18th century, and I also got some leads on one book that I was able to look at in the library at the University of Warsaw. So I might do a video on that, but I don't know when I'll do that because that would take some time to prepare. But anyway, that's just one last thing. So I hope you have a nice day or evening wherever you are, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.